Hey everybody, it's Timothy here with Mana Rocks. We're going to take another crack at a competitive Guild of Ravnica draft on Arena. Just as a quick reminder of how this works, we're going to pay our gems, we're going to go ahead and draft against some bots, and then we're going to play matches until we either reach 2 losses or 5 wins, with 3 wins being the break-even point. So that's our goal, at minimum 3 wins. Once we hit 2 losses, though, we're out, and we kind of get stuck wherever we are. So I have found the competitive drafts to be quite competitive, hence the name, but I do think the competition's pretty good in the competitive draft. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the draft. And my experience is while I'm recording Arena, I usually have connection errors of some sort. I'm not sure why, but it seems to happen pretty frequently. So hopefully it's not too big of a deal here. But let's go and see what we've got. First 2 cards here standing out right away. I think Chamber Sentry is better than Conclave Tribunal, but I wouldn't fault someone for taking Tribunal. I'd look to splash this rather than play Selesnya. My experience is that unless they fix the pick orders or anything, that Dimir and Boros tend to be super open during these drafts because of the way the bots pick their cards. And I do not really want to shoehorn myself into Selesnya. I definitely don't want to play Golgari. I've just not had success with Golgari. Even my good Golgari decks have not been good. There's also Direct Current, but I like Chamber Sentry. This is good in basically any 2-color deck, and quite strong in 3-color deck. Put my money where my mouth is here. I think Luminous Bonds is the best card in this pack. There's also District Guide. I could see taking District Guide and having some multicolor monstrosity here, 2 cards to support it. Necrotic Wound, I think, is a little bit worse than it looks. It's a 1-mana spell, so you'd think it's a good early game removal spell, but you can't actually cast it in the early game, and it has the same problem with all these Undergrowth cards, where you basically have to wait to cast your spells or lose a lot of the value of those spells. And I think Crow Forges is fine, Vigor Spore Worm is fine, but I think I'm going to take either District Guide or Luminous Bonds here. If I'm going to end up in a green guild, I'd rather be in Selesnya than Golgari, so I'm not going to take Necrotic Wound. But at the same time, I think District Guide is really good with Chamber Sentry. I'm going to take the removal spell here. Alright, another Luminous Bonds. There's also a Hypothesizzle, Severed Strands, Unexplained Disappearance. So some of the second tier removal and some pretty high pick removal. Luminous Bonds, Hypothesizzle. I'm just going to stick to theme and take another Luminous Bonds here. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. Inescapable Blaze is very strong, and not being able to be countered is great, since most of the counter spells in this format are very playable. After seeing Hypothesizzle, we could consider Beacon Bolt, but I think we're just going to take Legion Guildmage here. Looks like red is flown in this direction. And look to be either an aggressive Boros deck or maybe, I don't know, Selesnya still, if that works out. So Skyline Scout, another Hypothesizzle. Izzet's very open, so I'm feeling like I should be taking Izzet cards, but I think Scout works pretty nicely with what I have here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the Scout. And not a single Izzet card in this pack. In fact, this pack kind of sucks. Could see taking a Boros Locket. I don't want this 3-2. Dimir Guildgate doesn't help very much. Dev Guardian's kind of whatever, in my opinion. And there's Small Wood Shaper. So Selesnya still fairly open. I don't think my deck necessarily going to need a Locket here. Or at least not based on what I already have. So I'm just going to speculate on a Selesnya card here in case that ends up being what we do. Beam Splitter Mage, Severed Strand, Sonic Assault, and then some middle-of-the-ground creatures. There's also Maniacal Rage if you end up being a super aggro Boros deck. Maniacal Rage can get some work done, but I think I'm supposed to take Beam Splitter here. If I wanted to stay with what I have right now, I would just take Maniacal Rage. I'm going to take this Beam Splitter. We'll see what happens with it. I don't anticipate we'll be playing it. Again, I think Izzet is kind of where I'm supposed to be based on what's getting past to me. Like, I think I'm supposed to take Electrostatic Field here over Collar the Culprit or Selesnya Guildmage. But I've already passed up on quite a few good Izzet cards. Boros card here and Takar. I also like Glaive of the Guild pack if your deck wants to be attacking for the win. Peacemaker's pretty good if you end up Selesnya. Which, we could be aggro Selesnya. I'm going to take the Glaive. Bargain Sergeant. It's an okay card, not a particularly good card. Radical Idea is not really something I want to move into a different color for. Alright, I'll take Bargain Sergeant, I suppose. Well, this pack started off really good, and now we're just kind of getting crappy cards towards the end. But we don't really have set colors either. So we can move in a lot of different directions here. Just take the mediocre 2-drop. Intrusive Pack Beast isn't bad. Also Maniacal Rage. Yeah, I'll go and take the Rage. Nothing really here for us. Sure. Yeah, some really mediocre picks after that first pack. Okay, here's an Experimental Frenzy. That could be exactly what we want here. Let's just assume we get rid of these blue cards. That we are Boros. This could be a very strong card in Boros. Although you do want to keep your curve pretty low. Also Smelt Ward Minotaur, League Guild Mage, another Luminous Bonds. I'm going to take the Experimental Frenzy. Let's experiment with it. Ooh, build a standard deck, huh? Runaway Steamkin, very strong with Experimental Frenzy, and just a good card in general, I found, for our Boros decks. Often attacks as a 2/2 for 2. Ooh, here's an Amara as well. I think I'm supposed to take like Fresh-Faced Recruit or Command the Storm, seeing how I don't have any Guild Gates or anything like that. Dev Guardian's gonna go away. Also Indrik, Watcher in the Mist. Pretty strong pack overall. Might just take Fresh-Faced Recruit. As much as I hate passing Amara, it's also Command the Storm. Double Luminous Bonds already. Yeah, I'll take the Fresh-Faced Recruit. Gird for Battle's pretty nice. Here's a card that could have helped us splash Amara. Might take Gird. Gird is actually quite nice. It works pretty nice with Runaway Steamkin. If we pick up any Healer's Hawks, which are going to be a high priority, it's pretty strong. Flower doesn't help us too much here, so Gird it is. Demotion's another card I like for these Boros decks. I wouldn't mind the Guild Gate, but I do like attacking through my opponent's creatures. Well, there's a Healer's Hawk. And it's very possible I get one of these 5 cards back, all of which I probably play, so take the Healer's Hawk. Oop, take another Healer's Hawk over a Sure Strike here. Now we just need some Mentors. Intrusive Pack Beast or Unicorn. I think I'm going to take a Unicorn here. That'll be kind of the top of my curve, right? I guess there's a Bargain Sergeant. Hunted Witness I don't like as much, but remember these are best of 1 matches, so unless I'm planning on mainboarding a Collar the Culprit, I don't think I'm going to take it here. So I'll take a pretty middle in 1-drop. I like Maximize Velocity in these sorts of decks. I don't particularly like any of these cards. Candlelight Vigil is just so much worse than Maniacal Rage. Yeah, I'll take a Hammer Dropper. I don't like Hammer Dropper, but it's a playable card. We did not get one of those Boros cards back. And Bargain Sergeant's bad. Firemind's Research, not going to play it. I do like Ornery Goblin, and I like Direct Current. Ornery Goblin's quite good for a 2-drop. It's actually one of the better 2-drops. Don't really want Electrostatic Field in this deck. I think I'm going to take Direct Current, just have a little bit more removal here. I've got a decent number of 1 and 2 drops. Here's a Crater Maker. And that's basically all that's in this pack for us. I guess there's an Izzet Guild Gate, but we're not playing blue cards at this point. There we go. Response Resurgent and Sky Knight Legionnaire. Oh, that would happen, right? Sky Knight Legionnaire is fantastic for our deck, but I think this card is quite good too. Oi, what do we take? What do we take? Gonna take the rare. Too late. Already happened. Can't change my mind. Righteous Blow's fine. Piston Fist, not really good for our deck. Invert, I guess, probably not good for our deck, right? So, Righteous Blow looks like it's going to be the pick here. Sure. Another Unicorn. Another Hammer Dropper. Again, I don't really like Hammer Dropper. Just go and grab a Unicorn here. And a bunch of Dimir cards. I'll take a Pack Beast. Ooh, another Healer's Hawk. We did not end up with very many Mentor creatures, though. I guess Flight of Equinox is playable, but I might actually just take the Pump. I guess I like Sure Strike more than Take Heart. We'll take that for sure, for sure. Hammer Dropper. I could see another Hammer Dropper in this deck. don't want Pack Beast, I'm not going to play Call or the Culprit. And a bunch of cards that we don't care too much about. Do I need that 3-drop? Glaive can come out. We don't have any 3-drop creatures in our deck. 3 mana 3/2 is pretty mediocre though, right? Oh, we'll consider it for curve situations. Sworn Companions. Just take an uncommon for the vault. If it lets me. Pick the uncommon! Don't want another Maximize Velocity. Another Candlelight Vigil. And uncommon for the vault. Okay, so we ended up with a decent amount of removal. I think Hunted Witness, go bye-bye. Don't like you. Probably play 1 Maximize Velocity. Probably cut a lot of the top-end stuff here. 1 Hammer Dropper. I don't want 2 5-drops in my deck, so I think I might cut the Intrusive Pack Beast here. And play the Bards and Sergeant. Yeah. Chamber Sentry still looks like it's pretty decent here. Got a couple ways to put counters on it. Hammer Dropper, which I think is pretty mediocre. Cut 1 of the Unicorns. And could just cut more of this stuff, and we have 5 spells that cost more than 3 mana. Play a 16 land deck. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I don't think I have a critical mass of attackers like I need for a good Boros deck. Sworn Companions, kind of loose. Card's okay, but not great. Yeah, if I cut Barge and Sergeant, I have a pretty slick curve 1 through 4. Just not very many 3-drops. That makes Experimental Frenzy a little bit better too. Anything I'm just super not excited to play here? I could see cutting Righteous Blow, since we're going to be attacking a lot. But remember, we don't sideboard in these games. 3 Healer's Hawks. Do I cut all Bargy Boy here? Or cut another Hammer Dropper, I guess. Yeah. Cut another Hammer Dropper. And then play what we have here. I guess if I'm cutting down to 16 lands, I actually need to add another card in. So probably the Righteous Blow. A low curve card. Something that can let us still attack. Maybe I want the other Maximize Velocity over Righteous Blow. Probably not, though. So yeah, we'll play this Boros deck. I don't think this is an amazing Boros deck, but I think it's got the tools to win. Going first. Yeah, I like this. We'll see how good Experimental Frenzy is this game. My deck could really use, like, some of the 3-drops. Sky Knight Legionnaire, Wojek Bodyguard. These are cards I would love to have, but do not have access to. Run out the Scout on turn 2, I believe. Ooh, Banneret. Playing against another aggro deck, but hopefully our Experimental Frenzy is the breaker there, if our opponent's deck is really good. Probably just going to block this, to be honest. I don't mind getting that creature off board. My opponent already mulliganed. They didn't even attack. Alright. So I will go ahead and jam with the Scout, play a Legion Guild Mage, and just pass. Kind of want to empty my hand before I play Experimental Frenzy. Opponent thinking of using... I don't even know what burn spell could they have here for double red. Oh, thinking of trading Banneret. Maybe. Alright, let's just go and play Legion Guild Mage and turn. Frenzy could backfire on us too. I think I'm gonna go Hammer Dropper next turn. Oh, Legionnaire. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty strong. So if I attack with both, they probably don't trade because they can pump this. So question is, do I hold up response here, or do I... I'm probably just going to play Hammer Dropper still. This can tap, right? Excuse me. If that's the case, maybe I just attack with 1 so I have something that can trade off with this Banneret. I don't want to take 1,000,000 damage. Alright, Hammer Dropper coming down. Drop the hammer. Sorry, I don't know why my throat is clogged right now. If they attack with Banneret, I'm going to put the Scout in front of it. Legionnaire is almost certainly attacking. Ooh, Rubble Belt, so now they don't have to pump. I'm still going to block this Banneret. It just means I have to deal with a 3/3 flyer here. Oh, maximize velocity. Does that do anything? I'm not going to play Frenzy this turn, but I could see... Excuse me. What if I go Resurgence here? First strike, Vigilance, right? So I get to attack with both. I get to mentor this. I'm attacking for 8. And then I get to do it again. Yeah, let's do that. I get to mentor this thing twice, and this has first strike. So they're going to have to throw away Boar and take a bunch of damage anyway. Boom. This will put them pretty low. And then I have the Guild Mage's activation here. Yeah, so they're going to take 3 plus another 9. And I have a 4/4 on board. Throw clear? Throw clear. Alright, we put him down to 4 there. Maximize velocity in case we draw a creature here. Nice. Alright, Resurgence doing work. Extra combat phases. We're against a Boros deck. Sworn Companions could be okay. It at least trades for Banneret, right? Silent Dart. I don't even remember picking that up. But glad we have the Righteous Blow. We have a Direct Current in here somewhere, which is pretty good. Luminous Bonds is fine. Restorer could actually be pretty good for this sort of matchup. So I'll take out Barge and Sergeant, bring in that. The life gain really does matter. And then Unicorn's a card I don't tend to like on the draw very much. So I'm going to cut that and probably bring in Sworn Companions. Hunted Witness is okay. Yeah, so bringing out the super aggro cards that are really good on the play, lose a lot of the ground on the draw, the Unicorn and Barge and Sergeant, bringing in a few more defensive life gain cards. If I can add to the board and gain life at the same time, that gives me a little bit of edge in this match. Could draw them out and make this hand good. It's not great. Third land necessary for the Luminous Bonds, but we'll see. No 1-drop from the opponent's pretty good. But red card off the top is not necessarily good for us either. They have a Steamkin of their own. Impressive. Alright, I'll take a Plains over nothing. Means I get to cast my Luminous Bonds. I'm tempted to not trade here if they attack. Well, I'll definitely block Steamkin here. Fresh-faced Recruit. So I could go Recruit plus Gird for Battle, or I could just Luminous Bonds up the flyer. And then next turn if I draw a land, I can play Restorer. But kind of don't want this thing hitting me for 3, right? Alright, I think we're going to go for the Gird for Battle this turn. Go and attack, see if my opponent wants to trade 3 for 2 here. Although it would probably be 3 for 3. I think I'm pretty behind this game, but the Lockstone Restorer is pretty nice if I get to drop it. And then I also have this Luminous Bonds. Alright, I like that my opponent's playing that, meaning my opponent doesn't have a red card to grow their Steamkin this turn. Ooh, third for battle of their own. Really, put it on that one. Not bad, not bad. Smack me for 3. That's not very good, is it? I think we're gonna go Luminous Bonds the Flyer, attack with Fresh-Faced Recruit, and keep back this Scout. Yeah. Opponent never draws a mountain here. Yeah, I could be in a little bit of trouble because they can grow this Steamkin twice in the same turn. Arclight Phoenix, what in the world? Alright, well, didn't see that. Can't really deal with it well either. We're gonna go ahead and trade here. Gonna have to preserve life total. I don't really have too many tricks left here. Mountain's good draw. So I can go Chamber Sentry on 2. If I don't attack with Fresh-Faced Recruit and they just grow this to a 4/4, then it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack with it. I'll play my Chamber Sentry on 2 here. Could play it on 1 and also play a 3-drop, but playing it on 1 doesn't do that much. 2 at least lets me kill off Arclight Phoenix. Yeah. It's not amazing there. Oh, they're gonna kill my Chamber Sentry right away? Yeah, so I'm getting hit for 7 this turn. Then they have me dead with Arclight Phoenix plus Direct Current next turn. Bonus draw was quite nice here. I guess if I can drop Restorer, I'm not straight up dead. Do I even show them that? In case they have like Call or the Culprit or something in their sideboard. I could play 2 creatures here. I'm just dead to this plus this if I don't gain life, so let's not show them the whatchamacallit. I don't think it's going to make a difference here. And we'll see what we can do for the next game. So I like, what did I bring in? Sworn Companions. Still seems pretty bad against them. Bring in that Bargain Sergeant again. I like the rest of the deck the way it is. I'd like to see a Healer's Hawk on turn 1. I have 3 of them in the deck. Healer's Hawk, Maniacal Rage. My opponent probably doesn't have a lot that deals with that. Sorry if you can hear maintenance outside as well. Sounds like they're mowing my window. I can cast Fresh-Faced Recruit plus Response with this hand, so I'm going to keep it, but it's not great. No Healer's Hawk, just nothing. Opponent going down to 6 again. Opponent's deck also seems strong, so we got our work cut out for us. Steamkin plus Arclight Phoenix, kind of ridiculous, right? White source, white source, white source. Oh man, they're getting closer to my window. Boros Challenger as well, what? And we have not hit a white source. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. They probably don't block. If they do, I'll just response now. If not, they attack me back and I response then. We kind of need to hit a white source on our next turn, otherwise we're just not adding to the board or doing anything, and that's not a good deal against Boros. Alright, good. So, I think I play Hammer Dropper here. Be kind of a shame if they direct current it, but that's fine. I want to use my mana as best as possible. So if I get to untap with Hammer Dropper, I've got some tricks to back it up. If not, and they just kill it, then we're kind of still at parity, right? Cosmotronic Wave, going Pressure Beast Recruit. Okay. So, if I attack and use Righteous Blow, that just kills their creatures. If I Luminous Bonds it, then I get to just straight up attack for 5. And I Demotion, they get to attack back. I can't cast Lockstone Restorer. So, I think I'm just going to go Demotion on it. Although Luminous Bonds uses my mana better. Although if I draw planes, I can go any 2 of these. So, I'm going to attack with Hammer Dropper. Just trying to figure out what do I do to this thing. I think Demotion's the best because I can afford to just take 2 on it right now, and I'd rather save Luminous Bonds for something a little bit stronger. But them using Cosmotronic Wave to kill my small creature means they don't currently have an answer for Hammer Dropper. And we'll see what they play. If I draw planes, I'm probably just playing Restorer. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play Restorer while I have an opportunity. Because if they kill Hammer Dropper on any of these turns, then I can't actually play the Restorer. This puts me as 20 as well, and it gives me a creature that can be mentored up with the Hammer Dropper, so if they still haven't drawn anything good here, this looks like it's going to be pretty good against them. We're going to Luminous Bonds the Pack Beast. I'm not going to block that. They could have... No, they have Direct Current. They would kill Hammer Dropper. Ooh, that's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop Luminous Bonds on Pack Beast. They could have a +2/+2 or something. Looks like they do have an answer for Hammer Dropper. Nice. But I do have a 4/5 on board, which is traditionally pretty good against Boros. They're going to need Command the Storm or Luminous Bonds of their own. And I'm going to drop my Healer's Hawk, and hopefully we can overtake them here. So remember, this can still attack, but this one can't. They did not block with the Lifelinker. Or they did not attack with the Lifelinker. Swath Cutting Giant? That's really annoying. Wow, that's extremely annoying, because not only can I not attack with this, but it kills my Hawk. Wow. Oh, if only I had a way to suit it up. Yeah, I guess I have to just take some damage for now. It's pretty bad, actually. I don't have many ways in my deck to kill that Swath Cutter Giant. Another Luminous Bonds off the top is what I'm going to need. I could trade 2 for 1 here. Righteous Blow plus block, but that seems really bad. I think I'm just going to have to get a little bit lucky off the top of my deck here. I already used the Resurgence, right? Yeah. Deck's just taunting me now. Alright, we'll pass. I think now I have to block plus Righteous Blow. I don't want my life total to drop too low. Wow, this card is just ideal for my opponent here. Not even a card you see out of Boros very often. Attack with everything? That means what, Sure Strike? I'm going to go ahead and block here this turn. I imagine my opponent has a trick, or maybe they just have Burn to the face. Chamber Sentry. That does something, I guess. One, two. Pass. I think my opponent drew something last turn, otherwise, why attack with the other little creatures? Oh, they're suiting up the Swath Cutter. They're targeting their Swath Cutter with something. This doesn't change too much. creature. I'm gonna go ahead and just block here. On Moto, I would know how to do this, but I don't want to mess this up. I want to be able to shoot this for 2 after damage. I guess I can do it like this. I just don't want to run into this trick. I don't know how to do it otherwise, though. Alright, I guess if they have the trick, they have it. So now my Chamber Sentry's staring down their guy. Ooh, Experimental Frenzy. That could be fantastic here. Let's go ahead and play it. Probably should have held up white mana. We have a Halberdier on top. I'm just gonna pass. I need to stay alive here. Remember, I'm going to draw that, but I won't be able to cast the cards in my hand. So we're going to need the top of our library to be really nice to us here, and that is not being really nice to us. At least Chamber Sentry can take that down. But I think Chamber Sentry needs to block here. I don't have 2. I don't want to leave myself dead to a direct current either. Alright. Rattle off some ways to grow my Healer's Hawk here. Alright, so on top we have Plains, and of course Mountain. Oh, we bricked off already. Just gonna pass. My opponent has a direct current, they can kill us. They can just double cast it. I'm gonna block with Healer's Hawk, I think. No, if they had direct current, they would kill us, so I'm not going to block, take 2, and then just hope they don't have direct current. Otherwise, probably would have just cast that. Wojek Bodyguard's nice. We really need to hit off this Experimental Frenzy. Alright, on top is Plains, Legion Guild Mage, and Plains. Wow. Alright, well, Frenzy... I guess, I mean, it drew us some cards here, but we're double blocking, double chumping. I mean, we could still have a chance here if this Frenzy does work, but I'm not feeling it now. And in a direct current would not even be that great. Opponent's just drawing gas now, which is fair considering they've already drawn 7 lands. Top card. God, I don't want to see the land right away. Are you kidding me? Alright, so we lose game 1, or match 1, to the Boros deck. I think that was super lucky that they happen to have a Swath Cutter Giant, though. Maybe they brought that in, but I didn't show them any Healer's Hawks. I don't think I showed them any X ones. Well, the Skyline Scout. But we're going to lose match 1 and have to play for 3 wins here in a row. Man, Experimental Frenzy just brick. Land. And that happens. Like I said, it is a little bit of a risky card, but if we were just playing with the cards in our hand, it wouldn't have been that good. One thing I could have done differently there is not blocked with the, what is it called? With the Pinger. The artifact creature, and taken for that turn, and then used it next turn to kill the Sky Knight Legionnaire, but I think leaving myself dead to a direct current on board is a bad idea. Unfortunately, I just didn't hit any of my removal to take care of the opponent there, and yeah, we fizzled out. The Experimental Frenzy showed us a total of 5 lands within those 3 turns. 2 spells. Alright, this hand is great. It'd be way better on the play, but we're on the draw, unfortunately. See if the opponent has the dead weight. This is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4 drop. But we'll see if the opponent can disrupt us. Alright, Burglar Rats, I'm just going to pitch a mountain here. Still don't know if my opponent is Demir or Golgari. Burglar Rats is playable in both. Just as good in both, really. looking like Demir. I think they're supposed to attack there. They're not going to block. Maximize velocity is not even a bad draw, but let's go ahead and jam. Don't think there's anything my opponent could have for double black. Oh, no. I thought that was end combat. I hate that it does that, but that's fine. Nightveil Predator, pretty gross. Can't even attack into that. And we missed having this 3-drop on board. We could play this plus maximize velocity. I kind of like that. My opponent wants to take 4. We'll probably just take it. Alright, and then next turn we have Hammer Dropper plus maximize velocity. I wonder if I was supposed to just play Hammer Dropper this turn. Probably. Deadly Visit to my 3/2. Okay. I imagine the rat is attacking here, and not the Nightveil Predator. If I can get a counter on this this guy, that would be pretty nice. Keeps on top. And keeps back the rat. Alright, so Hammer Dropper is basically going to trade for Nightveil Predator. And I'm out of tricks, so do your worst. They could also just jump. Oh, they're taken? Going down to 3. Huh. Well, that makes Direct Current a great draw. That makes Legion Guildmage a pretty good draw. This also means I get to pump up my recruit. This is pretty good as well. We're going to play that pre-combat. My opponent kept a Veiled Shade on top with the Deadly Visit, is that right? Maybe they have a bounce spell in hand. So, my question, of course, is do I attack with Healer Hawk here? And I don't think I do. I assume Veiled Shade is going to jump in front of Hammer Dropper. They have to chump Fresh-Faced Recruit, and then that can block Healer's Hawk. So, I am going to attack with these two. Assuming I get the opportunity to do so. Could take this out right now with Crater Maker. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and just attack with these two and assume Veiled Shade is going to trade for my Hammer Dropper. Then they're facing down a 4/3 First Striker. They don't have a bounce spell. Dazzling Lights. Ooh, nice. That's actually pretty good. However, I can Crater Maker their Veiled Shade now, assuming I get the chance before they go to blocks. No, I want to use this. No! I think I'm supposed to retain priority. God, some of the things on Arena are so finicky. Let's see. Like, my opponent cast that before damage. I'm supposed to retain priority and get a chance to activate abilities again. So the question is, do I Crater Maker this and keep Hammer Dropper on board? I think yes, because it's the only thing that pressures this Nightveil. And that mattered too, because I would blow up the Veiled Shade before damage, or before blocks, and then they'd have to block Hammer Dropper with this rat. Alright, well, we still have some decent top decks here. Hammer Dropper's still ostensibly going to trade for, well, one of these creatures at this point. We'll see. Alright, that's not good. I'm going to keep it in my hand. If I attack with Hammer Dropper, they have to trade for one of their big creatures here. Probably trade for a Dowser. I think that's fine. I don't think it gets much better at that point. I guess I have an intrusive pack beast. Nah, let's just go ahead and make him trade here. Oh, chump with rat. I like that, actually. Oh, necrotic wound? Wow. Alright, well, now we're going to need to get a little bit lucky this game. We have lots of good outs here. I mean, even a luminous bond stops us from taking a bunch of damage. They only had one creature? No, they had a creature. They could have done that. Alright, unicorn is something. Not playing my mountain in case I draw direct current. I want to make sure I have a card that I'm okay jump starting. They have a removal spell again? Jeez, my opponents... I guess, were those the two cards they surveilled? And Burglar Rat? Okay. Maybe my opponent won't draw all gas here. Sure Strike would be a good draw. Anything but land, basically. There we go, that's something. Alright. Got a little bit lucky, opponent got a little bit lucky. Burglar Rat coming in, that makes sense. Alright, Legion Guildmage is fantastic, because if I draw a land, I can just deal 3 to him to the face. So now a land is a good draw. See if they drew a removal spell or anything that pressures me. Looks like they're reading the Guildmage. Oh, and I kept that land in hand. Still not blocking anything. Opponent drew a land for the turn. Alright, land off the top. Land off the top does it. Does that do it? No. Give them both first strike and lifelink. This eats one of them. This chumps, and then I only have one creature to attack. No, but I can use the Legion Guildmage's ability to tap Rat this turn. Whisper Agent off the top. That's good. Let's just go ahead and do this now. Oh no, we'll wait so that Burglar Rat can't free roll an attack into me. They ditched Swamp. Alright, end combat, end turn. Let's go ahead and tap Whisper Agent. There we go. Alright. So, a little bit of sloppy play, but we get to take out the Guildmage. Against what looks to be a pretty good Dimir deck. Remember that time when I was drafting and I didn't take Collar the Culprits? So, just gotta keep in mind my opponent has some 3/3s. I might want more Hammer Droppers here because of their ability to just push through my opponent's creatures. Like, I don't want Unicorn. Fearless Halberdier seems fine. I basically want anything that can attack through a 3/3 hexproof creature. Still like most of the rest of this. Pack Beast, whatever. Also got to keep in mind my opponent has multiple Burglar Rats. Sure, we'll just make that one cut. We'll run it back, see if we can take down a control deck. But cards like Artful Takedown make it difficult for us to get in there. Necrotic Wound is something to keep in mind. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Alright, well, we have Hawk Guard for battle. We can draw another creature that's quite good. Hawk it up. I guess that's something else I should double check with my deck, is if I have the appropriate number of lands. I'm going to discard Maximize Velocity. Seems like a perfectly reasonable discard to me. Don't really want to Gird here. I think I need to get maximum value out of my cards to win this game. Darkblade Agent is nice. I'll take one from the Rat. And the Mountain, or 2-draw. Alright, well, we're just gonna attack and response their Darkblade Agent. Alright, Notion Rain's pretty good. They didn't surveil anything to the graveyard. Let's go ahead and knock out their Darkblade Agent here. Land or 2-drop, or another Healer's Hawk. God, I hate you, deck. Oh, I hate you so much. Still not Gurdon. I don't see a reason to do that. They just answer Healer's Hawk, I'm down a card. At least if I wait till I got another creature. Well, that's not the worst either. If I wait till I have another creature, I at least get to keep 1 counter worth of value here. Okay. So now the question is, Luminous Bonds this? I think so. Stay ahead in the race. Makes it a good sack target. Excuse me. Also doesn't send it to the graveyard for Necrotic Wound, but they could argue Necrotic Wound if they want. Never happened. Alright, I like when my opponent played this card because it's terrible, but they're going to get probably, what, a Luminous Bonds out of my hand. They're probably not going to take a red card here since I don't have a red source. I could see him taking Righteous Blow or Luminous Bonds, but I don't really see him taking anything else. They took Luminous Bonds. Respectable. Alright. Doesn't really do anything. Except show my opponent that I drew a Plains for the turn. This Healer's Hawk alone is not going to get there. I still think, yes, I know Gird for Battle would have done like 5 extra damage this game, but I still think it's wrong to play the Gird on a single Healer's Hawk. This draw is just not shaped up. Alright, so now we have options. I can go Hammer Dropper or Maniacal Rage on this thing. I can go Hammer Dropper plus Gird. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then we have Maniacal Rage next turn. This gets both of my creatures out of whatchamacallit, Necrotic Wound territory. If I can mentor this up and make it a 5/5, that'd be amazing. Before my opponent draws an Artful Takedown or something like that. Granted, they still have Deadly Visit, probably other removal spells in their deck, so I don't think we're out of the woods. And this says what? It can't block. Could always put this on an opponent's creature too, and taking a bunch of damage back. Alright, what you got, opponent? What you got? This looks like Severed Strands. Yep. Hopefully they don't have a Necrotic Wound as well, because I think I'm going to go for Maniacal Rage on this Hawk now. They didn't have it before. This at least 3-turn clocks them. Keeps me alive in the process. Keep that Plains in my hand for this maximized velocity. Comes a Whisper Agent. That's gonna dig them for removal. They have keeping 2 on top. That's never good when your opponent. Oh, this always surveilled 1. Wow, Deadly Visit was on top as well. That's kind of gross. All right, you got me on the 2 for 1. Hopefully, I can draw a creature that's maximized velocity-able. Plains, staring down a 4/5, coming at 8. Ooh, Hammer Dropper, but can't give it haste. Still something that trades. Remember, my opponent kept 2 cards on top, though, so they wanted the second card as well. Or, God, never mind. For some reason, I think this has Surveil too, but it doesn't. Supposed to trade here? No. That's where I wish I had Intrusive Path Beast. Ugh. Bad draw, but I'm gonna play it out. Just pass. My opponent's slowly creeping ahead in this game. Actually, pretty far ahead, I think. Thankfully, they have creatures we can deal with, but we're down both of our Luminous Bonds. Why didn't they sack Spinal Centipede? Ooh, Bargain Sergeant? And they can trade both their creatures for both of our creatures. I don't really love that. But we attack with what? A 5/2 and a 5/3. I think I'm gonna jam with both. My top decks versus their top decks. They can pump the Shade 3 times, so yeah. This makes Maximize Velocity decent. I guess they could have Dazzle and Lights here, which is okay. Alright, waiting for the Dazzling Lights. Could be a number of other things. I don't think it's Necrotic Wound, otherwise they probably would have killed Hammer Dropper. We're trading both creatures. Alright. So I doubt they have Dazzling Lights then. Alright, that's solid. I don't think I'm gonna maximize Velocity here. Supposed to? Nah, I'll wait. I'd rather use this on a slightly bigger creature. Predator is waiting on that second island, it looks like. Kind of hoping to draw my Experimental Frenzy. I'm going to go ahead and maximize Velocity now. This either gets in 3 damage, puts them down to 5, or they trade off their Predator while they don't have a Dazzling Lights. Ooh, they have something though. No? Okay, I'm okay with this exchange. I just have to draw creatures before my opponent draws creatures. Yeah, that's not quite it. I am playing out my lands for Experimental Frenzy in case I draw it. So far we've drawn 9 lands, so we only have 7 left, but it looks like the opponent's breaking off a little bit as well. I think Frenzy would be very good right now. Also keep this land in hand in case they play another Burglar Rats. Alright, let's just jam the 3/2. That can die in a number of different ways, fine. Artful Takedown, okay. I don't mind trading pretty mediocre creature for Artful Takedown, although I guess at this point most of my creatures are mediocre. Ayo, that's decent. I mean, it's okay. It's a 2-mana 2/2. It is just a bear, but it has the upside of killing a creature if they play one. A small creature, of course. Alright, I like the Healer's Hawk. Dazzling Lights, just to surveil, I like that. See if they ditch anything to the graveyard, though. Oh, they're keeping both on top. Honk it up, pass the turn, see what they left on top. Mere Informant, pretty good. Surveil again, I assume they're going to keep at least one on top since they left that second card and ditch a Swamp. So they know their next card is the same card they surveilled with. Sure Strike. So I think I'm just going to demote this and attack for 3, keep Sure Strike for another turn. Opponent still has to kill us with 11 cards left. guess I have 14. Visit the Sentry. Okay. Surveil 2 again. Opponent ditched an island and kept a card on top. Oh, plus Mephitic Vapors. That's nice. Surveil 2 again. Alright. We're back on the draw a creature plan. Attack for 0. Alright, we'll play out a land and pass. Opponent is keeping cards on top, so Veiled Shade is actually really strong here. Alright, draw something relevant. Jeez. Top decks really do hate us. We have 5 lands left in our 12-card deck. Our opponent is going to kill us with this Veiled Shade, though. They can activate it 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 times. That's 8, 9. I'm on a 2-turn clock. I'm actually dead next turn if I don't draw anything. Direct Current would be a live draw if my opponent pumps all of their mana into this, though. So I'm taking 10 down to 8. It'd be a shame to lose this game. I feel like I've been ahead for a very long time. Alright, well this is going to have to block a Veiled Shade. That's assuming they don't just have a removal spell on top. I believe they know the card they're drawing for this turn. Burglar Rats. Okay, that's fine. Alright. So they have 8, 9, 10 mana. They can pump this 5 times. What happens if I block here? That's 5, that's 7, 8 damage. No, I think I blocked the Centipede. I can Sure Strike it as well. That just makes me take another damage this turn. Yep. Come on, Direct Current off the top. Yep. I think I am going to Sure Strike. Keep my Fresh-Faced Recruit alive for next turn, even though this does make me take 1 extra damage this turn. Alright, we have lots of top decks, and then I think 5 lane decks. Half of our cards should be decent. No! You're not decent. Let's see, I attack for 2. Chump with this. Oh, I'm at 3? Oh, we double chumping, boys. What a ridiculous game. Alright, so that should kill me. Alright, let's go to the next game. Let's go to the next game. You got me. You got me. We're on the play this time. Still don't like most of our deck. Inspiring Unicorn could be something. I do have a Direct Current in my deck, right? I've yet to see it. Yeah. Another Hammer Dropper. Just so fragile to a lot of their removal. Frenzy would have probably been pretty good there, I think. Yeah, I don't know that I want any of these other cards. Do I want another Maximize Velocity? I guess that's one thing I have to consider is how many creatures do I actually have in my deck? 13. That's probably not enough. I probably should put in 1 more creature over a spell. Cut the Maniacal Rage. Cut the Righteous Blow. It's not even particularly good against a lot of their creatures. And bring in just another creature. Maybe bring the Unicorn back in. Alright, or I could see Pack Beast as well, but 16 land deck, I don't want another 5-drop in. Let's try it out. See what happens against Tom Knox. See if this Dimir deck can push me out of this competitive league right away. Be kind of sad. Yeah, this hand's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. Lead with a mountain, make it look like I don't have white for my Healer's Hawk. If my opponent brought in Mephitic Vapors as well, that might have been something to consider for sideboarding. Ooh, there's Frenzy. I imagine Frenzy's gonna be good in this game. When I'm not gonna be under a lot of pressure, I can afford to break a few times on it. Alright, here comes Rats. I'm gonna discard a Plains. Shown a propensity to draw lands when I don't need them, so. Well, yeah, we could go all in on this opponent. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm still just gonna play the 3-2 and attack. And then next turn, Devotion plus Rage, empty my hand for this Frenzy and hope my opponent doesn't have Never Happened. Okay, well in that case, let's pitch Demotion here. Opponent stuck on land there. Alright, let's go land. Let's go and get this Rage out of our hand. Put it on the first striker or this thing? This will let me attack with both. Nah, seems good on the first striker. And attack with this? No, I don't think I attack with that. Alright, fuel up that Necrotic Wound. Alright, no Never Happened. No Never Happened. They gotta have a third land for that anyway. And Disdainful Stroke is really the only thing that stops me from doing that, so let's go ahead and attack with both. See if they have something and then drop this Frenzy. I'm gonna not play the land from my hand in case I hit a land on top. I just want to be able to play that. No, we hit a Hammer Dropper on top, which we'll remember we're gonna draw, not be able to cast it. Discarding Mephitic Vapors, land on top. Healer's Hawk. No, let's not go to combat first. Luminous Bond's on top, but we can't play that. Attack with both. If it's profitable, we could just blow this up on end step, draw that Luminous Bonds, and play it. Doesn't matter. Alright, opponent got stuck on 2 there, which is a shame, because we played 2 pretty good games. And I think their deck's solid against mine. Just got a little bit mana screwed, but that does mean we get to keep playing here. Trying to rattle off at least 2 more wins before we take our next loss, because right now we're not making any gems back. Which would be bad. Pretty bad. Playing first. Yeah, I like this. Bird, 2-drop bird. Could use a Gird for battle. Or a bird for battle. And Luminous Bonds in case we draw the 3rd land. See what we're up against. No red. Ugh. In my opinion, the strongest in the format, but a lot of people disagree with me on that. Oh, maybe not. What a twist. What a twist. Child of Night. Child of Night's annoying. I think I'm going to attack into it, though. Could also play Bird, maximize velocity. That seems pretty poor. Just play Crater Maker. I'll attack Child of Night. I'd rather them trade only gain 2 once rather than gain 2 multiple times this game. They might play around a combat trick here anyway, and I'm not blocking Child of Night with Legion Guild Mage, so I might as well attack into it. If I had a 3rd land, it'd be a different story, but I do not have a 3rd land. Alright, let's go and drop Crater Maker here, and be screwed on life. More likely Dimir, splashing red, considering the Child of Night. Wall of Mystic Red I don't care about at all, really. It is going to mitigate some damage, but it doesn't pressure me in any way. It doesn't kill my creatures. It's kind of a shame that we're not drawing lands, though. Guess one reason not to attack there is my opponent could have status. Give +1/+1 and death touch. Alright, play another Hawk. Gird for Battle is a live draw now. And Hammer Droppers tend to be pretty good against, ooh, they have a Necrotic Wound again. What's up with all these Necrotic Wounds? It's so good against my deck. I guess they could be Rakdos Splash in blue. Weak Guild Mage. We're gonna blow that up right away, I think, with the Crater Maker. I don't want my opponent getting any sort of value off that. Crater Maker can't attack anyway. Boom. And we'll just hawk it up, I guess. Alright, get to play a 3/2. I don't really want a Luminous Bond Wall of Mist, but if I can use Righteous Blow to kill it, that'd be alright, I suppose. My opponent's probably not going to have too many creatures that die to Righteous Blow in a matchup like this. You just play the Flyer, yeah, then I'll Luminous Bonds that. Alright, they pitch 2 to the graveyard. That's what I like to see. Alright, now I can go 1, 2, 3. Luminous Bonds your Flyer, attack with both. Do I want to Righteous Blow this Wall of Mist out of the way? I think I do. Remember, my opponent's drawing cold here. They don't know what their card is. So if my 3/2 can do anything at all, that'd be nice. Watch him play something that Righteous Blow is good against, but, you know. Yeah, something like that. At this point, I'll trade a Healer's Hawk for a Bat, or if they want to block Halberdier, that's okay too. Probably block the Healer's Hawk. And I'm going to keep land in hand in case they do have something like Disinformation Campaign. Sure Strike would have been good last turn. So they could have removal, they could have Whisper Agent, they could have a Hypothesizzle, which is bad for me. Because I have nothing now. Oh, and discard and Radical Idea. That's why I don't want to play against Izzet decks. See, Dimir just kills all your stuff. Izzet kills your stuff while drawing you extra cards. And now I'm like so far behind in card advantage, they have this to just pitch a land into another spell. They're gonna control all of the creatures I play from this point forward. Guess they have 2 in hand, which is something. Frenzy, Frenzy, Frenzy now. Nothing. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Looks like they're sitting on 2 removal spells or lands or something. Meanwhile, we're drawing nothing. Alright, Partisan Bats. That's the threat. Direct Current. We have one in our deck. Another land. Nothing. You get nothing. Feel like drawing nothing. Alright, a Unicorn, which is not very good here. Here comes the Devious Cover. Still just gonna pass. See what removal spell they want to use on it. No removal for it. Or at least no instant speed removal. Dead weight. Sure. We're so gonna lose this game. My opponent's just probably stacked on removal spells. I guess we can kill Bat, that forces them to play some threat, but... Veiled Shade. Veiled Shade looking really good against him. Okay. Okay, I've seen enough of this game. No, 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 no. I'm a little tilted, having drawn, what, 10 lands at this point? 9 lands? Against the Is It deck that's going to beat us down here, but we could still draw Frenzy and win this game. It's just a little frustrating to play against these control decks. They have answer, 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 and then they play like some mediocre threats and kill you, but that is what happens. I've got to assume my opponent's on some amount of removal or counter spells and something. Although if they pump all their mana into Veil of Shade, that's a little bit odd. They also tap the they wanted to do it that way, I don't know. Is that a second League Guildmage? It is. Chamber Sentry. See, Chamber Sentry is a good draw, I suppose. I could maximize velocity this. They have so many things I have to kill now, though. Yeah, I don't feel good about this match. If they kill Chamber Sentry, I'll go ahead and pass. There's no way I beat this League Guildmage. Yeah, and they have a good creature to stack to that. Alright, opponent's got very good removal. As all my opponents do. Ugh. We drew nothing that game. Nothing, I tell you. Bad against deadweight. Well, everything dies to Hypothesizzle. I guess I'll bring in the Pack Beast over some spell. I think that might be a problem. I'll take out Maniacal Rage. Opponent's more likely to 2-for-1 me this game. But I don't think my deck beats a deck like my opponent's unless they either stumble or I get a little bit lucky and hit my Frenzy. Or if I just get a really fast start on them and get my creature out of like deadweight range. But every card they have seems to interact pretty favorably with mine. I mean, it's a good hand. 2 Crater Makers. I think I might have messed up by using that Righteous Blow the way I did to kill off the Wall of Mist. Might have been right to just hold on to it. Definitely now that I know they have double Bardisan Bats. No deadweights. Okay, we'll go ahead and go for 1. Play out Chamber Sentry here since I can pick off X1s over Crater Maker. Only being able to take out 2s. You know what I mean? This can take out a creature potentially and also keep itself around, whereas Crater Maker is always gonna die. Maybe want to hold on to this till later because it does kill their Bardisan Bats. Go ahead and attack and play Crater Maker. And shut it. Good start. Sure Strike and Luminous Bonds to back it up. Went on 3 lands and no spells. Down to 11. No Whisper Agent. White mana. Murmur and Mystic. Absurd. We're gonna have to try and Sure Strike that, I think. I don't really want to Luminous Bonds that one. Sure. Strike. We only deal 3 this turn, but we kill our Mystic, we throw our Steamkin, and we put the pressure on them quite a bit. They're not just dead next turn. If I draw a 1 or 2 mana red spell, they die. I also have 2 creatures that can pick off small creatures, so something like a League Guildmage doesn't look good here. I can take out a big creature. Bardisan Bats is terrible here because of the Chamber Sentry. I think we're okay. Deafening Clarion would suck. My opponent does have white mana. Forest. Okay, Boros and Bats is just not good for the opponent. Just gonna shoot it off for 1. Attack for 5. Put my opponent down to 3. What could they have white mana for? Deafening Clarion is coming to mind. You splash white in your red deck. But they're more like Demir splash in red. Did we see what the red was for? We did. Alright, this time on the draw. They have a Murmured Mystic. But that was just a statement. They have a Murmured Mystic. Silent Dart. Doesn't kill Watcher, doesn't kill Murmured Mystic. Maybe I want Hammer Dropper. Nah, I don't want Hammer Dropper. Let's just leave the deck as is. See if we can take it down. We had a pretty good draw that time. That was actually a fantastic draw. If they had drawn better creatures or something earlier, we had Luminous Bonds to take care of it. We had 2 on more removal spells. That's how I win this match, is my opponent curving into Boros Bats, not curving into Murmuring Mystic. Opponent goes first. This is fine. 1 drop, 2 drop, potential removal spell. Ooh, Frenzy is what I want for this matchup for sure. I can cast it. Hopefully Frenzy pulls its weight this time. League Guildmage. We're gonna play Crater Maker. Pop that as soon as we get the opportunity. There goes the black mana. Plague Crafter. That's not amazing. Just sack my Hawk. Yeah. It's basically a removal spell. And my opponent should just attack here, or should just block, I think. Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and pop it now. I want my opponent drawing cards. That Plague Crafter was a little bit odd. But I guess the board's wiped. Opponent's ahead here. Not ahead. I still have decent cards to cast in my hand, so I'll play Hammer Dropper and pass. Can't imagine it's gonna live, but if it does, we have Luminous Bonds, Response Resurgence. These are good cards to cast before I pop my Experimental Frenzy. I had a feeling it was gonna die, but I'd rather it die to Hypothesizzle than Deadweight. Opponent discarding Chromatic Lantern. Oh yeah, they're splashing red for Hypothesizzle. League Guildmage. Never mind, they're just straight up like 3 colors. Okay, so here I go Healer's Hawk, Experimental Frenzy. Do I play the Frenzy with me having these 2 good cards in my hand? I don't think so. It's a little bit odd, but I don't think I do. Alright, Bats. Okay, let's go ahead and run out Steam Pin. Let's go ahead and attack. Oh, I love the block. Let's let that happen. My opponent's thinking they've got the late game here, so that makes sense. Bat might not be that important. Child of Night, I don't care too much about. Okay, Bargain Sergeant. That's pretty strong here. I am still just gonna Luminous Bonds this thing. Opponent kept up 4 mana. Yeah, let's Luminous Bonds. spells, it doesn't look like, from the opponents. I don't see a reason to play the Frenzy when I've got decent cards in my hand. Still play out lands. Barge and Sergeant, attack, grow this to a 3/3. Necrotic Wound currently deals enough to kill creatures. Yeah, I think that's fine. Again, just trading my Barge and Sergeant here for a bat. I guess they might even block Steamkin. Seems unlikely, but they might. If they block Steamkin, it looks like they have a removal spell for Barge and Sergeant. Ooh, Marie Boy. Plus a spell. Plus a spell. Alright, let's attack. Hope to use response here. Nope. So now I think I'm supposed to play Frenzy. Play my land? No, play my land. No, let's not play my land. Remember, at some point I can destroy my own Frenzy. Guild Mage is quite nice here. Play the land for turn. Pass. Draw in Sure Strike. So it's going to be my Frenzy versus their Bird Army, I think. Notion Raid's a good start, too. But at the very least, if I'm breaking on Experimental Frenzy, I can shoot him for 3 with this Guild Mage. I can force them to kind of... Oh, yeah, they went down to 6 as well, so Guild Mage is double dead, double lethal. They're going to have to throw 2 birds in front of Barge and Sergeant unless they found an answer for it. Looks like they're going to kill my Guild Mage, though. Or at least they're looking at my Guild Mage. I hate that Arena does this, like, highlights the cards they're looking at. I'm looking at Luminous Bonds. Uh-oh. Capture Sphere, my Guild Mage. It's respectable. Alright, so draw in Sure Strike, which we can't cast. Play a land off the top. Ooh, Intrusive Pack Beast. That's a fantastic draw here. Just get to nug him for 4. 1, 2. And Unicorn, unfortunately, is stuck on my library. That's fine. This has turned into a pretty good game. Launcher's good. Might be some merit in... Let's see what they do, but I can blow up Frenzy and cast Resurgence here. I don't know if I'm there yet. 19 cards in my library, so I'm still good on that front. Attacking with the bird. I'm at 22, so I'm not worried about dying quite yet, but attacking with the bird is aggro. Ooh, Demotion's great. Let's go ahead and throw that on your 3/4. Healer's Hawk on top. I think I just play out my spells first. Ooh, maximize velocity as well. That's actually insane. Cast that bird for battle on top. Yeah, this turned out quite well. 1, 2, and then I'll cast Maximize Velocity again. Land for turn. And then use this here. Alright, Experimental Frenzy just went off. Just went off. Now we jam. We just added, what, 5, 9 power to the board this turn? Alright. We get to keep playing. That's why I like Frenzy against these slower decks. Because it does stuff like that. But again, we had the out to blow up our Frenzy and cast Resurgence, so it's not like we're just, you know, super reliant on Frenzy there. Ooh, what'd we get? What'd we get? Ah! Okay, enough of that. So, 2 wins down. We made half our prize back. Remember, we're playing for at least 3 wins, but we've got up to 4 rounds left. Stick with me. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. My name is Timothy with Mana Rocks. Go add me on Twitter. Or, I don't know. I like having conversations with people. It's MTG_Mana Rocks. Spelled as such. Alright, what is this? Match 4? So far, I think we've had a couple lucky games. That last game, I think we might have won without the Frenzy. But we did have that game, too, where my opponent basically didn't play anything until turn 4. Fresh Face Recruit, Maniacal Rage. It's going to be very dependent on what the opponent's playing. A Mulligan, but Scry to the top. Blue. I'll play against blue. Ooh, Healer's Hawk is a great draw. Ooh, let's see what their second color is here before I go Maniacal Rage with Hawk. I think I'm still just going to play Fresh Face Recruit. And then maybe I can go Bird plus Maniacal Rage next turn. Set myself up for the 2 for 1. Or the 2 for 2.5 for 1. Alright, so yeah, let's do it. Let's Gird. Basically the only thing that gets me here is the bounce spell. Ooh, they use it pre-combat, that's good. Oh, Sinister Sabotage. Alright. I like. Play around Artful Takedown, I guess. Or not play around it, but that could be something to watch out for. But they use the Sinister Sabotage there, but they did keep a card on top. We have Luminous Bonds for a creature. We're basically relying on what we already have on board. Necrolisp is not going to do the job. Alright, so we can go kind of like maximize velocity this thing, just because they can't really block it well, and then play Crater Maker. This lets me get another creature on board. Wait, hold on, I can't do that, can I? I only have 1 red source. So if that's the case, maybe I just attack with the Hawk and play Crater Maker? Supposed to be pushing in as much damage as possible, so that could be wrong. We'll just Luminous Bonds at the ready. Opponent's not attacking me with this 3/3 anytime soon, and I'm at 27. Let's see what 5 drop. Prowl Swarm. Well, that dies to Crater Maker, so this is going to be a good turn. I'm going to need him for at least 5. Ooh, kind of want to play that, though. Alright, let's just blow this up. Luminous Bonds that. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Luminous Bonds here. Blow up. Prowl Swarm. And then attack for 5, put my opponent down to 6. And we might even draw a mountain next turn to go Unicorn plus Velocity, which I think would be neat. My opponent doesn't look like they have removal here. They're just playing out creatures that don't match up too well against ours. Severed Strands. That's pretty good. Gains him some life, kills my creature. Veiled Shades, fine too. Ooh, Hammer Dropper? I like to drop the hammer here. I do get to attack, though. I could see a case for Unicorn being better there, but nah. Opponent's on 2 cards. This doesn't matter too much. They're not going to be able to discard a creature and play it, and if they have a creature, they're probably going to play that creature out. Partisan Bat. So this looks like another Dimir deck that might be, like, light on win conditions. Ooh, how good is that? I really want a Resurgence, but what if I play... Yeah, if I just response here, if I Attack, mentor this up. They block Hammer Dropper, a response. They take 3, they're down another creature. Yeah, this seems just fine. Plus I get to turn my guy into a 3/2, and I have both my creatures next turn against them. So will be lethal next turn, if they can't do anything about it. This will mentor again. Alright. I got no tricks. Also, I have the out of just drawing him one for maximize velocity. Alright. Well, we didn't see too much from the opponent. We saw a bunch of creatures that have, you know, pretty middle-of-the-pack creatures. Bardisan Bats. Crow Swarm's okay. Crow Swarm is the type of creature I play, though, when I don't have very much going on. So I think Unicorn can come out again. Remember, though, our spells do get a little bit worse. What removal did they use? Oh, it was Severed Strands. So Maniacal Rage looks a little bit worse. I do want to bring in creatures. I should already have more creatures in my deck as it is. I like the Pack Beast. And I could see bringing in like Ladev Guardian or something like that. Sworn Companions, it's okay. They showed us 2 X1s. Maybe I just bring in another Hammer Dropper. This does bring the curve up a little bit, though. Not much, because we replaced a 4-drop with a 4-drop. But yeah, our opponent didn't show us anything super threatening there. Severed Strands is not premium removal, it's good. It's not insane. I guess they showed us a Sinister Sabotage, so worth playing around counter spells if we can afford to do so. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just see how we do against them. I'm not going to keep that. Opponent mulliganed, it looks like. I wish there was a better way to see if they mulliganed or not. Yeah, I like this hand. This hand's good. Probably keep a land on top if I see it. Scries to the bottom. I will scry that to the top. I don't mind drawing lands here. I've got some 4s and 5s in my deck that I want to be able to cast. Whoa, kept a 1-lander. That's unfortunate. Let's go fresh face boy. Certified fresh. Alright, they drew a land. Wall of Mist, okay. Again, Wall of Mist is kind of annoying. It's almost like a tapper for your best creature, but it's not the most threatening thing in the world. Let's go and skill check him here. It basically buys him time, and that's kind of what you want to do against Boros anyway, so I think that's fine. Not gonna knock an opponent for playing that. I do like that I brought in another Hammer Dropper, though, and that my opponent is maybe stuck on lands. They're either rattling them off the top, or they're drawing them. I guess those are the 2 options, right? So we'll go Healer's Hawk. I'm not going to maximize velocity of that. I'd rather save it for a Hammer Dropper. I will go ahead and attack with this thing. If they want to throw a Centipede in the way, I'm okay with it. And I'll just leave up the tap ability on Guildmage. I guess I have Response Resurgence, but Resurgence looks like it might be good in this game. See what else my opponent plays out. My opponent either skipped their second turn, or they've drawn 3 lands in a row, which is respectable, I guess. Let's go ahead and tap down their Centipede. Getting close to just nugging them for 3 a turn off that, too. Which, if we're going to sit here and look at each other, then I think that's fine. Ooh, a Steamkin. Run away. I'm just going to attack with the Hawk. Keep the tap ability up. Keep Response Resurgence up. There's a case for maximize velocity on what I was thinking there. Alright, opponent added to board, surveilling, doing all that good stuff. And swamp to the graveyard. 5th land. They just have 6 lands in a row on top. 5 lands. I get the feeling my opponent might have skipped their second turn. Ooh, they're gonna Severed Strands. Sacking Centipede, killing Guild Mage. Make that a 4/3. That makes sense. They do want to get this Guild Mage off board. That gives me a pretty good attack this following turn, though. And I'm faced with the same decision. Do I want to response their wall, get it out of the way? It's actually kind of a tough spot. Crater Maker. Okay. I want to save this for possible resurgence. Alright, so we can attack with everything here. We get to soak up 2 damage. We get to hit him for 3. Finally just gain 2 life, so we haven't done too much to him, but they're also down to 3 cards. 4/3 is good here. Barty boy. Barty McFly. Do I Crater Maker that? I'll draw first. We'll see what we draw. Gird. Ooh, Gird is good. Gird is good. So we can gird up here and here. And we could kill off Bartisan Bats, attack for 2, and this. Yeah, let's just trade Crater Maker for Bartisan Bat so I can keep at least attacking with the little guy. It doesn't make much sense to pass and wait for Resurgence to be good if I'm passing up on damage anyway. I'll go and attack with Fresh Faced Recruit. They just block with the wall. That's respectable. That's fine. I can use Maximize Velocity to get in more damage here, but I think I want to wait until I draw a creature that can actually haste up. Get a little bit of extra value off of it. Oh, there's another Severed Strands coming. Sacking wall, killing Fresh Faced Recruit. Alright. They gain some life, but they're still killing their own creatures to do that. They're down to 1 card. Hello. Does that do very much? Not really, right? Now I kind of want to go response their creature. That turns Runaway Steamkin into a 5/5. What, a 5/5? No, a 3/3. And even if they have Sinister Sabotage for the response here, this is still going to be a 3/3. I get to hold Direct Current for any additional Corral Swarms or Bartisan Bats. I've still got my Maximized Velocity in case I draw. Ooh, that's a nice play. I don't mind it though, because now I can Direct Current that thing. Oh no! Why? Alright, let's keep that in hand. And I'll attack with the 3/3. Gotta get that out of the way somehow. Alright, so opponent ripping Night Veil Predator is pretty gross. Holding that thing. I'll play Mountain before I play my next Plains. Let's see, if I attack with Runaway Steamkin here, they can flash and Whisper Agent. So I wonder if I maximize Velocity here, make this a 4/4, attack with both. I think I'm going to do that. If I can trade Healer's Hawk for Night Veil Predator, I'm okay with that. But I'd rather use Direct Current on Whisper Agent than trade off Runaway Steamkin. Alright, now I'm going to attack with both. See if my opponent wants to go ahead and jam a Night Veil Predator for a Healer's Hawk. Looks like they do. And here comes Whisper Agent. Alright, let's see something bad go to the graveyard. Nothing on top. Nothing on top. Alright, Bardisan Bats. Cool. Cool. No! That just discards it though, right? That doesn't exile it like the other one? Nice. What happened with the Surveil there? They kept that card on top. Alright, let's go ahead and direct some current at this thing. This cannot get bigger than 4/4, yeah. Go ahead and put our opponent on the 8, but keep in mind they kept a card on top, so they must have liked it. Ritual stuff. Nice. Hammer Dropper, Sergeant Sergeant. I'll take it. Yeah, there's no point being greedy about it. I'm not going to maximize velocity that. Because they still just need to draw things anyway that are relevant. That's relevant. Ooh. Alright. I will maximize velocity of that, and now I have a 2-turn clock on it. So, give this haste. They're almost essentially going to have to trade Growl Swarm for Hammer Dropper, but my Pack Beast will be a 4/4. Oh, this has Vigilance? I didn't even know that had Vigilance. I don't play this card too often. So now they need to either draw a creature and replay their Growl Swarm, or they need to play something that kills this, or I guess they have 2 non-creatures in their hand. Cool. So that's 3 wins, right? Yes, yes. That match wasn't too hard. Again, it looked like one of those Dimir decks that was really lacking win conditions. Oh! Alright, we won back our prize support, but we've got up to 2 more matches here. Let's see if we can go all the way with our medium Boros deck. I think our deck is like a 6 out of 10 or something like that. Watcher in the Mist. Ooh, cannot keep this one though. Healer's Hawk on top? This hand's pretty mediocre. On the draw too. Yeah, this hand's actually quite bad. Ugh, don't want to see red. Ooh, drawing a Healer's Hawk there would have been amazing though. So, if we're against Boros, we need to draw either a 2-drop or an interactive spell. But we're against Izzet. No Electromancer? 1 time? Fire Urchin? No. Okay, I don't mind drawing that. This card's almost always useful at some point during the game, even if... Does anybody see it say Growl Swarm? Where... Go check the video. It totally said Growl Swarm instead of Resurgence there. Anyway, this card's decent at some point during the game. A radical idea for a land drop. Which, to me, can tell me they probably don't have lands in there. This is not very good against Fire Urchin. Doesn't block it very well. I might just block here. Nah, if I can fade my opponent having good removal, direct current for all my X2s, then this Halberdier could be useful. Alright, here's a Guild Mage. No attack with Fire Urchin. Alright, drawing a land is good. So, question here is what to do. If I attack with this, 1 blue, they could have Dazzling Lights as basically the only spell that lets them just profitably block and kill a creature. Otherwise, they attack with both, I can blow them out with Response. I think I'm okay trading this for League Guild Mage though, so I am going to attack. Good chance I just take 3 here. And then play Hammer Dropper if nothing else happens. And same position where if I get to untap here, I have lots of ways to back up my creatures. Maniacal Rage is not exactly what I want for this matchup though, unfortunately. Okay, were they... Oh, Lava Coil. Nice, Lava Coil's quite strong. Alright, everything I said doesn't matter anymore. Getting hit for 4 or more this turn. They might Radical Idea to deal an extra damage. Alright, leave the Fire Urchin back. That makes sense to me. I don't really want to put Demotion on this, but I could see going Maniacal Rage. Problem is, this just dies to a Hypothesizzle. It does get it out of direct current range. It would die to another Lava Coil. Alright, I think I'm going to go Maniacal Rage on this. Hope they don't have a bounce spell and just try to start jamming. I don't have much else going on in my hand. I built a version of this deck that's probably just a little bit too spell heavy. Alright, they are casting Radical Idea. Pitch in Sinister Sabotage. So they must really want lands here. I'm in a lot of trouble if they have a Hypothesizzle, but not so much so, right? Because I do have the response to kill off one of their attackers. Then I have some ways to kind of pump up a creature if I draw another one. But I'm expecting land Hypothesizzle right away. Yep, here goes the target. Oh, Capture Sphere. Well, I mean, that basically does the trick. I don't really have ways to untap my creatures. We're going to go ahead and response to kill off the League Guild Mage. That's the one that can be most threatening as the game goes on. Alright, Healer's Hawk. I think I am going to maximize velocity that. Just trading in maximize velocity for a point of damage, some life gain. And then we're facing down our opponent's 4 cards to our pretty mediocre hand. Crackling Drake. Absurd. I love Crackling Drake. I love Crackling Drake. Alright, do I demotion this or do I try to sure strike it? I think getting it off board's probably a better bet, so let's go ahead and attack. I'm sure they don't block. And I'll go ahead and play land and just pass the turn. I think we're going to need a small miracle to win this game. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, Bannerat's fine. Yeah, my opponent playing their Goblin Drake deck. Alright, what can we draw here? This game's over. I'll attack, but I don't see it working out here. Even Frenzy doesn't look that good because I don't have enough mana to play it and go off. Cash in Crater Maker now. I'm gonna keep playing to make them show me more cards, but I'm pretty sure they. This is 5, 8, 9. See if they want to show me 1 or 2 more cards. Lava Coil, Crater Maker, Capture Sphere. These are cards my opponent has played. Really, no pump. Banneret. Alright, that's gonna do it for me. And we'll go to sideboard here. Crater Maker, Lava Coil, Crater Maker, Lava Coil. We're gonna be on the play though. Bad against Lava Coil. Yeah, I do like the Pack Beast. I don't really like Hammer Dropper. All of these 4 and 5 drops are pretty mediocre. I'm gonna take out Maniacal Rage though, on account of them having just a bunch of potential answers to deal with it. This Unicorn doesn't look like it's amazing either in our deck. Righteous Blow looked fine. Demotion looked like it would have been fine. Direct Current's pretty good. Alright. If I'm gonna go ahead and bring in, or if I'm gonna have creatures that die to like Crater Maker and Direct Current, I want it to be Hammer Dropper over that Unicorn. Because it does represent way more damage when you get the Mentor. Guitar Zone. What is that? Okay, on the play. Healer's Hawk and some Crappers. This hand sucks. This hand is mediocre. I like the opponent going down. I like the opponent mulliganing though. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Basically, this is a very reactive hand, which is not where we want to be with Boros. We want to be very aggressive. And we don't even have the second red for this Direct Current. For some reason, they play the Plains there instead of a Mountain. So I know they're going to play a 2 toughness creature, and I'm going to draw Mountain. Alright, I don't mind the Healer's Hawk. I'm going to Velocity that. Velocity's not amazing here, but I want to be as aggressive as possible, even if it means just getting in 1 extra damage here. And there goes the... Our Electromancer hopefully bites into a Direct Current, but does not. And Electromancer represents a ton of possibilities for the opponent, which is bad news for me. Another Mountain would have been great. Risk factor. Oh, I'll take 4. Healer's Hawk is more than made up for that. If they just jump started, I'll take another 4. I'll still be at 20 on my turn. Right, if that's the worst that happens. That's okay. Still draw a red source would be great here. No. This lets me even hit him for 2 more if I don't. Frenzy. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam back. I'm not gonna play Frenzy here. My hand's pretty good. Or at least the Luminous Bonds against any big flyer or something like that. Steamkin, huh? Just go and jam a Luminous Bonds on this Electromancer. Kinda wanna play Runaway Steamkin though. I can only do one thing this turn. Could attack with Guildmage and see what happens. Guildmage isn't super important here. I think I just like Luminous Bonds with Guy. Try to bait out a counterspell or something. Capture Sphere? No Capture Sphere either. I'm assuming they have something. Kill Guildmage. Ooh, Escape. That is not super efficient for the opponent though. They're going down to 8 here. I'm still at 20. Crater Maker's good. These are all solid answers. Skyline Scout plus Steamkin. Alright, let's go ahead and attack, see if they want to go ahead and sack off the Crater Maker. And we'll go Steamkin plus Scout. I think this game should be ours. The Direct Current by itself, even if I don't have the Mountain for a couple turns, I'm far enough ahead in life total that I'll draw that Mountain at some point. And Direct Current should finish off the game. Plus I have Frenzy. Although if I can get through this game without showing my opponent Frenzy, I'll be pretty happy. They're just taking 4 here. I could have maximized Velocity. That doesn't do that much. Now Direct Current is actually lethal. Opponent had a little bit of a bad rap that game, I think. Muse Drake. Okay. Tapping all the red. This is why you don't let auto tap happen sometimes. Oh, wait, okay. I can't play the Pack Beast. I'm just gonna attack with everything. make my opponent have something there, and again, I still have outs to win that game. So 1-1. This could be our last match. Could not be. We shall see. How do I like Electrostatic Field? I don't. They're going to win with Flyers and Aggression. Pack Beast can come out on the draw, though. Restore could be a thing. Candlelight Vigil is not a thing. Sworn Companions is pretty bad. Alright, let's bring in the Restore. It's a little bit more of a defensive card, but I'm on the draw here. So it's fine. My opponent has an Inescapable Blaze too, so I'm essentially at 14 at basically all times. My opponent's deck is good. Nice little Izzet deck. Guild Mages, Cyclopes, Crackling Drake, burn spells, draw spells, all that stuff you want, right? Electromancer. Ooh, this is unfortunate, but I can't keep. This is a little bit worse, but if I get a Plains, it could work. Desperately need Plains. So our first play is going to be Steamkin. I don't have high hopes. I do not have high hopes. But draw Plains still within the next 2 turns. Something could happen. Fire Urchin. No, 5-drop is not what I wanted to see. At the very least, if I'm going to draw lands, I want them to be Plains, but mountains are better than 4 or 5 drops. Electromancer. They got all... Oh, they don't need to cast anything there. Alright, hit me, deck. Now's the time. Okay, like I said, if I'm going to draw lands, I'd rather it be... Or if I'm going to draw something I can't cast, I'd rather draw a land instead for this Frenzy, but... Even that might be too late. My opponent's pretty set up here. Cosmotronic. Not the worst that could have happened. Opponent gets to nug me for 4. Plains is still, I think, my best draw. I'd like to cast these Luminous Bonds. Okay, I don't mind the Maximize Altitude. It just gets in 2 extra damage, so I'm taking 6 down to 13. No! Alright, well, looks like we might be going out this game. Still gonna hold in there. But we're probably gonna lose this, to some Mana Screw. Are they considering Altitude again? They are. Discarding Command the Storm. So I'm taking 5 this turn, down to 8. Plains is my hero. Oh, they might cast like a Sure Strike or something. So that's another 4 damage, so I'm down to 4. And it is literally now or never. Alright, there's that now. Yeah, we have to go ahead and lock down... I guess Fire Urchin represents more damage if they have spells. I'm dead to a bunch of things here. Gotta hope they have nothing. That's not nothing. Alright, Plains. So if I draw on a Plains, I could make a blocker. Alright, I've just gotta hope they have nothing again. Any spell kills me. Any instant or sorcery kills me. Oh, they're looking at... No, they're looking at their hand. Ah! We could have lived with a Plains there. We could have blocked this and Luminous Bonds that. Alright, so we lost the Mana Screw in this last one, which is a shame. Very much a shame, because my opponent's almost out of cards there, and I think we can get this game from them. If we resolve some Healer's Hawks, but whatever. Mana Screw happens. Happened to some of my other opponents during this event, whatever you want to call it. So we are going to break even, which is nice, and get some packs. Worse things have happened. So 1,500 is what I paid, so basically we get to keep what we drafted and 4 packs, which we'll just go and open now for the sake of viewership. I don't know. Do people enjoy watching people crack digital packs? Because I don't really enjoy cracking them, but can't do anything else with them, right? Oh, I need that card actually. Ooh, never mind. get for talking trash. Oh, Crackling Drake's good too. Ooh, I'll always take mythic rare wild cards. Wild cards are basically the best thing you can open. Some big bolts, some Trash Downy. I don't mind the multiple mythic rares. And okay, so that's gonna go ahead and do it. We played pretty mediocre Boros deck, but it was enough to get our prize out, which means that we will have another competitive draft coming up. Right now I have enough for 3 competitive drafts, but I prefer to space them out, record them when I can, and I hope that's enjoyable for you guys to watch. So that's going to go and wrap up our video. Pretty long, so we'll cut this short. My name's Timothy with Mana Rocks. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you want to find us on Twitter, you can find us at MTG_Mana Rocks. So that's going to go ahead and do it for our video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, I will see you all next time.